The manhunt to track down a suspected murderer has come to an end. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. For nearly 10 hours, Eagle County Sheriff's deputies and other law enforcement searched for a man who'd gotten away after an exchange of gunfire on I-70. 9 News' Evan Krugel has more on the arrest and the suspect.
That manhunt is over here in Eagle County, and I-70 is back open in both directions after being shut down for more than 10 hours. Here's the man police now have in custody. This is Kenny Espinoza. Police in Westminster say he was wanted in connection with a homicide that happened there early Saturday morning. Just after 4 o'clock today, an Eagle County Sheriff's deputy saw a car matching a description for Espinoza and tried to pull him over. Investigators say the driver tried to get away and was eventually stopped using stop sticks eastbound on I-70 in Glenwood Canyon, where you can see traffic is moving again this afternoon. They say 2 people, including Espinoza, got out of the car in this area and exchanged gunfire with law enforcement. 1 man was injured and taken to the hospital, but Espinoza was able to escape, prompting an interstate closure and widespread manhunt in this area.
Given that the information was a potential threat to the public, we ended up closing I-70, and we also did a shelter-in-place orders that we put in place for public safety and for also to make it more beneficial for us to be able to search for the suspect who had fled on foot. These decisions are never taken lightly, and we know how they can disrupt people's lives, and we really appreciate everyone's cooperation in following that one.
It took 10 hours, but deputies again did take him into custody around 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're told no deputies were injured in that initial exchange of gunfire, and nobody was injured while Espinoza was arrested. We're told there were 5 other people in that car, including children. It remains unclear at this point what connection they have to Espinoza. But again, this manhunt is over, and I-70 is back open in both directions. In Eagle County, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
Evan, thank you. We're going to take a live look outside right now. Another warm and mild January day here in Denver that feels more like September.
Yeah, it's hard to, times I don't know what day of the date it is or what day of the week, because it's all a blur, Kathy.
It's so unusual, and even in spite of the cloud cover, you guys, we hit 62 degrees in Denver today. Again, the average high is about 45. Thankfully, we haven't seen a lot of wind yet, but with an increase in wind will come elevated fire danger with this prolonged period of warm, dry weather. The sunset last night was amazing. The sunrise today was amazing. I'm hoping with the clouds out there, we might get another good one tonight, so keep the pictures coming. Temperature at 58 in Denver now, 60 in Rocky Ford, and the wind is picking up north and east of us, where we're tracking a weak front that actually has a little bit of moisture. Most of it's going to stay outside the state's border, but some of that may back into the northeastern plains tonight, giving us about a 20% chance of a sprinkle, maybe a brief snow shower in Winter Park or Walden. I mean, at this point, I think we would just take anything. This impulse is not going to really be impactful in terms of travel, but a few sprinkles on the windshield would be welcome over the next 12 hours. Temperatures in the 50s now will slide into the 40s by about 10 o'clock tonight. And weather headlines include that chance for an isolated shower northeast of Denver. Fire danger concerns again, but a stronger cold front on Friday that's separating Arctic air from milder air. And will that Arctic air slide into Denver for Broncos Saturday? We're going to talk about the game forecast coming up.
The Douglas County Sheriff's Office says a deputy shot and injured a suspect in an armed carjacking pursuit last night after the suspect fired at deputies. The Sheriff's Office says about 8:30 last night, deputies spotted a suspect vehicle and tried to organize a stop, but the driver took off and a pursuit began. It started in Highlands Ranch, ended on Santa Fe, just north of C-470. During the chase, the suspect started ramming cars and hit a deputy standing outside a vehicle. That deputy has minor injuries. The suspect then fired at deputies through his windshield. One deputy returned fire, shooting the driver. He has injuries. He is expected to survive. Deputies took a passenger inside the suspect vehicle into custody.
One person was hurt after an A-line RTD train crashed into a truck this morning. Aurora police say the truck pulled up to the intersection of Smith and Sable, driving on the wrong side of the road. It stopped with the truck's backside on the tracks and the train hit it. The truck then sped off. The train had some minor damage. APD says about 50 people were on board that train at the time. One person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. This is the same intersection, by the way, where an A-line train collided with a semi last August. In that crash, a semi driver inched along the tracks, nearly getting across before being hit by the train. 2 people were taken to the hospital in that crash. Again, minor injuries.
As a mother struggles to raise money for her son's funeral, there has been a break in a hit-and-run crash that killed him. 9 News investigative reporter Jeremy Hahola first reported on this case 1 week ago today, and he's now learned there's been an arrest.
Nearly 2 weeks ago, police say the actions of the driver behind this gray car took the life of Angelo Simpson, age 19, and forever put grief in his mother's heart.
Love on your loved ones because you never know what's going to happen.
11 days later, Shirley Brown is trying to raise $12,000 for Angelo's funeral after he was hit and killed while crossing the street here at 11th and Calumet in Denver. The driver of the gray car took off, leaving Angelo dead in the street.
I'm literally selling tamales, doing everything. We have a benefit that we're planning for the 17th to raise money.
But today there is a little bit of relief for Shirley since we last saw her a week ago, pleading to the public for information. We found court documents showing police have arrested 29-year-old Alejandro Cifuentes for the deadly hit and run. Someone called Crime Stoppers on Cifuentes, and he was arrested about 4 days after the crash. In the records, he confessed to police saying he panicked and left the scene.
I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that my son gets the justice he deserves.
As the criminal case against him begins, Shirley is putting off her son's funeral until she can get the money to put him to rest.
I wish more than anything that I can take my son's place and bring him back, but I can't.
Cifuentes has a court date in February. For now, he remains under a $50,000 bond, according to court records. He's being held on vehicular homicide charges. Kim, back to you.
Well, this is one step in the grieving process for her, one that's going to last a lifetime, but it's a step.
Yeah, very sad for this mother, and now she's trying to raise money for her son's service.
All right, thank you, Jeremy.
Another gas station in northern Colorado has been impacted by this gas mix-up we've been reporting on now for the better part of several days. State regulators say diesel got mixed into regular gas, and that then got sent out to gas stations across the state. The wrong fuel was delivered between Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning. We've been tracking down which stations have been impacted. 9 News Northern Colorado reporter Amanda Gilbert found a Sinclair in Greeley has been added to the list.
The Sinclair at 18th Street and Highway 85 is the first gas station in Greeley that we've heard of impacted by this. Here's a look at that station. An employee there said the issue was resolved yesterday. This is in addition to the Costco on Timnath and the Safeway on West Drake Road in Fort Collins, focusing up north. I spoke with Desmond Valdez, the operations manager at Choice Towing in Fort Collins. He says they've towed a handful of people across northern Colorado impacted.
We've had a couple here in Fort Collins, and we've had one in Greeley. Your car will act strange, and it's not going to have the acceleration power. It may not start correctly. So if there's any thought, call.
Choice Towing tells me they first heard about this through the news, but also because insurance companies were reaching out. In northern Colorado, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
Thank you. Steve on your side has mapped out about 36 gas stations that have received unleaded fuel contaminated with diesel just within the past week. 9 News is continuing to follow this story, continuing to dig into it. Text GAS to 303-871-1491. The number on your screen for more info, including a list of gas stations impacted. We'll text you back a link with everything you need to know.